Hello, and welcome to another episode of All or Nada according to Jack. And I'm with your host, Jack Toledano. And I must say, it's been probably a little over a month that I've recorded a Seinfeld related episode. Uh, Back on December 23rd, we recorded the Festivus episode. And prior to that, we did the top 10 of George. So I thought it was high time we did another one. So here we go. And this episode, if you look over my right shoulder, this shoulder, that refrigerator is a large part of it because somebody, a next door neighbor, is always bursting through that door and taking food out of Jerry's refrigerator. And I'm talking about Kramer. 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 I just love that lady at the end of, during the, not the Keys episode, or the episode where he goes to Hollywood and that older woman, Kramer. Too funny. He's just, he's a character. He's got the Kavorka. He's got the funny big hair. What else can I say about good old Kramer? But before we get into Kramer, let's talk about a few definitions that I put together. So that was one of the premises of this show, that I would, from time to time, I would talk about terms and catchphrases. So I'm going to give you three before we get into my Kramer top 10. So my first one, and we're calling it, it's not you, it's me. Definition: when breaking up with somebody, but not wanting to give them the real reason you're breaking up with them. Or using a passive-aggressive reason. If it's not them, it's me. You're damn right it's me. That's what George would say. Yes, it's you, George. You're damn right it's me. Okay, another one from season 2, the Algonquin Round Table. An annoying round table discussion about cotton dockers. Or if you want to break up with an attractive woman, what better way than to mock her like of commercials regarding cotton dockers? What an idiot, Jerry. She was gorgeous, man. Anyhow, okay, so my third one, and if everybody remembers the episode where they were lost in the parking garage trying to find who? Kramer's car. And Jerry had a little bout of Mother Nature, or the call of Mother Nature. He had to go find a corner to relieve himself. Got caught by the security guard, and he came up with a bout of uromycetitis poisoning. Definition: a disorder that develops as a result of holding in urine too long while searching for one's car in a parking garage. Funny thing is, we all knew that George would have a bout of uromycetitis poisoning too. Oh, but I gotta meet my parents in the city. Jerry and George, what a team. What a team. Okay, so to my Kramer top 10. And these are the top 10 episodes where I feel Kramer stole the show. We had already done it with George Costanza. Now we get to do them with Cosmo Kramer. So number 10, the butter shave. Kramer runs out of shaving cream, so he's got to shave with something. So he runs into the refrigerator, grabs a stick of butter, starts rubbing it on his body so he can shave himself, so he can have a nice smooth shave. And then what does he do? He decides to use the butter to go up on the roof and sun himself a little bit. And what does that do? In turn, Newman smells the aroma of cooked Kramer, and then he gets these visions of Kramer as a cooked Thanksgiving turkey. starts licking his chops. And then he bites him. So that was number 10. Number 9, and this one I'm very familiar with, although I've never personally had one in my 2-3 years of being a golfer, the caddy. So Kramer, who's supposedly a scratch golfer, great golfer when he's not hitting balls into the ocean and into the blowhole of a whale, he's got a caddy. Go for the cup. And an argument ensues with Jerry. You're just out for sex. You're just out for money. Ah! That's the caddy. Number 8, and this is a good one. Originally, I thought this would be an Elaine episode, but again, Kramer stole the show. The Sponge. That's the episode where we and this definition will be spoken about at a later date, where we hear the term for the first time, somebody being sponge-worthy or sponge-worthy. But Kramer decided he's going to go do this walkathon, and he doesn't want to wear a ribbon. And the woman says, but you got to wear the ribbon. And he says to the lady, you know something? You're a ribbon bully. So he's walking, and he doesn't have the ribbon on, and it gets back to his the 2 guys that, does not want to wear the ribbon. The 2 guys that terrorized him when they stole his armoire from a few episodes back. So a vision of Kramer getting the shit beaten out of him. And so what does he do? He limps to the finish line and basically collapses over the finish line. Too funny. Episode 7, the Jimmy. That's the episode where George comes up with this great idea where he's got these vertical leap shoes that don't do jack for him. He can't leap and touch the awning of said store. So he gives the shoes to Kramer, and Kramer's walking around with them. Basically, they look like ping pong paddles that are glued to the bottom of his shoe. So he's walking around. He also gets root canal, and he gets Novocaine, and he can't really speak. And he's walking around. He stumbles into Mel Torme's valet or assistant, and he's wearing those shoes, makes him look handicapped, and he's talking like there's coming from Novocaine. So the guy arranges for a meeting with Mel Torme to sing to him, and you're very independent for your handicap. Too funny. So before I get to number 6, we're going to go to tonight's wallpaper. And it is this one. Voila! Mr. Kramer. So number 6, the Fusilli Jerry. And I made this for you, Jerry, because you're silly. But the real thing that stuck out is, so Kramer went to the Department of Motor Vehicles, and he was given these license plates, and he was given the wrong vanity plates, and on it says the Ass Man. And I love Frank at the end. Ass Man. Of course, he gets into a fight with Kramer. The Fusilli Jerry falls to the floor. Frank lands on it, and it's stuck in his posterior. So then he's got to go to a butt doctor, a proctologist, and to have it removed. Too funny. Only Kramer. Number 5, season 6, episode 1, The Chaperone. Jerry, and we should all be so lucky. Jerry is dating a girl who's a candidate to be Miss America, but she was already Miss Rhode Island. But in order to date her, he needed a chaperone. So, dummy that he asks, Kramer. And Kramer takes it uber seriously. You just kind of wander into the night. No way. What do you mean? I'm not going to let you defile this poor woman. Ah! And then he starts asking her all these questions. What did he ask her? It was so funny. If you could avoid a world war by sleeping with the top member of NATO's opposing country, would you do it? Kramer, is this really necessary? Yes. If you hesitate, if you pause, you can kiss that crown goodbye. Of course, Jerry throws a little wrinkle in by killing her doves that she used for a magic act by dumping water on the doves on the terrace of a hotel room in Atlantic City. So she has to sing, "It's a most unusual day." Kramer's look is priceless. Okay, so that leads us to number 4. Kramer with his big mouth, no filter. He says to George's girlfriend, "Oh, you're as pretty as the rest of them. You just need a nose job." Kramer! That was Elaine. That was too funny. George spits his food out. But how does Kramer manage? And it's with that jacket that he manages to date this girl instead of George, because he was there for her after she got her nose fixed yet again. So good old Kramer. Always wins. Jerry and George always lose. Number 3, episode 5 of season 5, The Briss. Kramer. This was one of the first ones that I've ever seen. I actually started watching Seinfeld regularly with season 5, and I saw the first run of this episode. It's where Kramer thinks he sees a pig man. At the very end, it's just so funny. He's running through the hospital. He's got this little pink man draped on his back. And then at the end, he discovers, and George says to him, "He really wasn't a pig man, was he?" "No, he was just a mental patient." Good old Kramer. Now, number 2. Number 2 and number 1, they're kind of interchangeable. Number 2, what episode does this come from? So this one's called, this is season 3, episode 21. It's called The Letter. And it's called The Letter because Jerry's girlfriend writes this love letter to Jerry, but that she basically stole it right out of a movie or plagiarized it right out of a movie. But what stole the scene in this episode was that she painted this portrait of Kramer. And these Manhattan socialites went to view the portrait. So the dialogue goes such as this: "Woman, I sense a great vulnerability. A man-child crying out for love, an innocent orphan in the postmodern world. Man, I see a parasite, a sexually depraved miscreant who is seeking only to gratify his basest and most immediate urges. Woman, his struggle is man's struggle. He lifts my spirit. He is a loathsome, offensive brute, yet I can't look away. Woman, He transcends time and space. Man, he sickens me. Woman, I love it. Man, me too. Yeah, amazing. Let's go Mets. Of course, it made honorable mention. Of course, it was an episode. I'm not sure which episode the boyfriend was in, but we'll get to that in time. But of course, there was the episode. Within that episode, he and Kramer led the charge to say Keith Hernandez, which, by the way, in all seriousness, Keith, congratulations for having your number 17 retired by the New York Mets. Good deal. You were a favorite of mine too. So, our number one episode, season 3, season finale, episode 23, The Keys. Kramer always bursting into Jerry's apartment, and Jerry takes his keys away. So Kramer says, "Oh, I broke the covenant of the keys." That's going to be another definition. And so what does he do? He takes his keys back and he gives it to George. George, you have to be my key brother now. I can barely see you, George. I'm splitting for the coast. In my mind, I'm already gone. Please, Kramer, don't leave us. You must stay. Kramer, Kramer. So at the very end, clackety, clackety, clack, he's typing for Murphy Brown. And then in the following episodes, he gets himself arrested for being mistaken for being a serial killer. Only Kramer. I love what he said. He puts himself up to the glass. Please help me. Please, Jerry, George. So the trials and tribulations of Cosmo Kramer show would not have been the same without him. Took his lines very seriously, but his comedic genius, second to none, and his pratfalls. Mr. Kramer, gotta love him. I'm Jack Toledano, speaking for All or Nada according to Jack, and we'll see you at the next episode. Thank you for watching. Please post your comments in the comments section, and if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. Have a good night, and please, Mother Nature, please stop letting that white stuff fall down on us this evening. Bye.